Back years ago, I used to work with this guy who would tell the most over-the-top, outrageous bullshit stories you ever heard in your life. Now, this was back before we all had a cell phone in our pocket and we could just Google something. But he told us that he produced an album for Metallica, and I went home and looked into album credits in that album. His name was nowhere in it. He told us he used to work for the race car driver Richard Petty. He told us that he was there the night Tupac got killed. He told us that he one time got asked to pose for Playgirl, and if you had saw this guy, you would know why that was so funny. He said one time that even though he lived 40 minutes away from the job site, he said that he could be there in less than a minute if he brought his motorcycle. And told us one time that he broke every bone in his body, and he showed up for work the next day. And at that point, our boss said, "Well, buddy, if that's the case, you better never call in here." So we would all just sit around and have a good gut laugh at this guy's stories and compare notes. Like, hey, guess what he told me? And they would just be so over the top that we would just sit and laugh it up. But nowadays, you can go to one of these MAGA Republicans and you can tell them any story you want about Joe Biden, any story about Barack Obama or Hillary Clinton or Hunter Biden, and they will believe it the minute you say it without even looking for any evidence or facts to back up the claim. They will just buy it hook, line, and sinker. And so when a story came out in the Daily Mail that said the U.S. would recommend people to drink 2 beers a week, I seen people around here doing this big flex. Biden's trying to tell us we can only drink 2 beers, by God. I'm going to go buy me a case, and I'm going to down them and show him. And I'm like, where will the stupidity ever end? And will there ever be a point where somebody just stops and goes, wait, that seems a little outrageous to me. You know, that one there just seems a little outrageous. You know, that they bought the story about Obama having gay sex and doing cocaine just because somebody told Tucker Carlson it happened. They just automatically believe that. They'll believe anything about Hunter, anything about Hillary. But this Joe Biden 2 beer one, I mean, I remember seeing some redneck on TikTok like, I'm going to drink more beer. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Let's look into this just for a second, you know. But imagine back when I worked with that guy, if I'd have just took to heart everything he said. And I started giving him the credit for producing a Metallica album rather than just going home and looking in the credits to see if he really did it or not. And now that's the thing. We all have a cell phone in our pocket and we can all look up. We have more information today at our fingertips than any other generation in history. More people today have more information. They take in more information in one day. And so bullshit can be looked into pretty quick. The problem you get into with that is that everybody has created a website spewing their own bullshit, and it comes down to a matter of who wants to believe what. So I'm sure somewhere someone's going to, say that I'm full of shit here and that Biden really did say that and Biden's really going to do it. And my question would be, if you really believe that Biden's only going to let you drink 2 beers, is he going to come to your house and sit on your porch with you? Is he going to come to your cookout? And is he going to sit around? Because now I know people believe that Santa Claus has a sleigh led by reindeer and that he puts presents in the sleigh and that he goes all across the world dropping, presents down chimneys. I know kids believe that and some adults hang on to it. And some adults hang on to these stories like that a guy built a wooden ark and put millions of species in the ark with him and floated around for 40 days. And there's people that believes a guy got swallowed by a whale and stayed in the belly of a whale for 3 days and didn't die. So, do you never stop to think, hey, maybe we should investigate this just a little bit before we start flexing and before we start getting all mad? I have been guilty. I can't remember the exact story, but one time I reacted to something that I thought Sarah Palin said because I read it, that she said it. And it was in line with her stupidity, and so I shared it without realizing that it was like from The Onion or one of those satire websites. It was complete satire. So I went back, I deleted the post, and I said to everybody, hey, I didn't realize that what I just shared was satire, but when it's Sarah Palin, you would expect her to say something that stupid, so I kind of could maybe see myself getting a little bit of a pass for that one. But the minute I saw these people start flexing about the 2 beers thing, I was like, come on, like really, how would he even enforce that? And why would he even give a shit about you? And I don't know which beer they was going to go out and get because they're pissed at so many different brands of beer for not being assholes. So I don't know, but that's the world we live in, where people they'll grab a story like that they'll grab onto it and they'll believe it hook, line, and sinker with no evidence at all. If you say it's about a Democrat, I can say right now that Joe Biden is going to start playing guitar for the Stones. He kicked Keith Richards out of the band, and it's over now, boys. He kicked Keith Richards out, and he kicked Johnny Van Zandt out of Skinner, and he's going to take the lead vocals away from him. And people would just automatically believe it. But you can show them Donald Trump saying, let's all go down to the Capitol and let's all fight like hell and take our country back. And they'll say, oh, you took that out of context. Oh, he's on tape. Well, yeah, look at these documents I got. I'm not supposed to be showing you this. But look at this. Oh, well, you don't understand. He's allowed to do that. That's the crazy world that we live in. And it's really hard trying to be a voice of reason in this mad world, but I promise I'll keep trying.